They used them to navigate, to know where they were.
嘅時候咧就唔知道，以為佢係探射燈。
佢首先唔係見到陸地，佢係見到燈塔嘅光。
澳門嘅文化就是鹹淡水文化，
更加要好好保護佢。
For more than 400 years, Macau has always been a hub of East-West civilizational exchange. It was one of the starting points of the maritime Silk Road, as well as being from where Western culture first spread into China. Originally, China and the Western world could only interact through Macau. After centuries of exchanges of trade goods and people, the building of a lighthouse perfectly symbolized the city's past and present. One of the first modern lighthouses in China's coastal areas, the light was first lit in 1865 and has welcomed and guided thousands of ships. This is the Gaia Lighthouse, also known as the Dongwang or Songshan Lighthouse.
15世紀開始，葡萄牙東航嘅一個探索，由最東嘅日本嘅長崎，到澳門，到馬六甲，然後印度嘅果亞，然後再去到東非，再去到呢個里斯本嗰度，咁樣一條嘅航海線就構成咗咧非常之成功一個貿易線嚟嘅。澳門嘅一個成功咧就係絲銀貿易。當時一個小漁村能夠起到咁多宏偉嘅教堂咩？錢從何來呢？係絲銀貿易裏邊賺咗呢啲錢翻嚟。
In growing from a small fishing village into a trading entrepot, Macau also gradually formed its own unique culture.
历史上它是一个比较封闭的国家，和外边呢没有什么很多的交流。当然，历史上有古代的像汉唐以来建的那个丝绸之路哈，但那个它只不过是通过陆上啊连接中亚国家的这么一个商道啊。那么真正海上的贸易呢啊。应该说，澳门呢，它是一个很重要的平台了。澳门人都把澳门的这个文化呢，他们俗称为是咸淡水文化。
Over 4 centuries, with early successes and then quieter times, Macau's brackish water culture was always in touch with the latest developments. So, when modern lighthouses reached Asia, Macau was an early leader. Why a lighthouse? And I think the answer is every self-respecting port city had to have a lighthouse, and it had to be a good lighthouse. So Macau, being a self-respecting port city, built itself a very, very handsome lighthouse up there. So Macau had a lighthouse. The history of the Gaia Lighthouse can be traced back to 150 years ago. However, in 1874, a typhoon destroyed it. After this disaster, for nearly 40 years, there was no lighthouse in Macau. Then, in 1910, the Gaia Lighthouse was rebuilt with a new design and the use of new machinery, bringing it up to the standards of the latest lighthouse technology.
咁澳門嘅燈塔咧，就係19世紀一個叫特色嘅建築嚟嘅。咁點解呢個時期咧會喺澳門出現咗一種叫做新曼努埃爾風格㗎？咁點解係咁咧？大家都知道鴉片戰爭之後，澳門喺1847年至到49年呢段時間殖民管治化嚇。咁由於殖民管治化就帶嚟咗大量葡萄牙人嘅嘢。 咁呢座燈塔就係1864年嘅時候開始設計起嘅。咁佢喺建築上面個表現係相當有特色嘅。我哋可以睇到佢係一個中型，底部有7米嘅直徑，一路縮細去到上邊係5米。 佢嘅建築咧就分3層嘅，我哋可以見到佢有窗簾啊、窗楣啊，同埋窗框。咁呢個窗框係用石做嘅。咁呢啲係葡萄牙所謂殖民地建築嘅一個好大嘅特色嚟㗎。
After reconstruction, the lighthouse had married Portuguese design to modern lighthouse technology. So a large number of Portuguese elements are applied in the design. Visiting the lighthouse today, people can see the ingenuity of the builders of a century ago, as well as the exquisite design of the machinery.
Human muscle power using gravity. Human muscles raised a weight on this wire, right the way up this tube that goes from the ground floor, right the way up to the light at the top. And this machinery, which was actually 2 floors up with the light, it was a complicated way of letting the weight drop, driving a drum, which through this system of cogs, rotated this big cog up here, and that rotated the light. So the light showed its characteristic. Every 2 hours or so, when the weight had dropped to the bottom of the tower, the lighthouse keeper would come and he'd wind the whole weight back up again in order to set the process in operation. It's quite interesting that the way in which it worked, for a while, the lighthouse keeper had to keep the rhythm of the light. So the light rotated at exactly the same speed as it did as the weight dropped down the tower. This one rotating the big cog up there at a given speed, and to connect that to the speed of descent of the weight down the tower, so that the weight drove these cogs, drove the light, so that hour after hour it went round at exactly the same speed, so that its characteristics were uniform day in, day out.
Now, it's a complicated story lasting nearly 350 years that tells how maritime trade gave life to this exquisite lighthouse. So the lighthouse symbolises the blending of the civilizations of East and West that's been going on since Macau began its life as a port.
嘅時候咧就唔知道，以為佢係探射燈，其實咧呢個係航海一個嘅導航嘅一個好有歷史嘅一個燈塔嚟嘅。我哋咧即係話咧呢個燈塔咧喺呢個發揮咗呢個海上交通史裏邊咧係好大一個作用嚇。咁即係我哋咧就今天嚟探討呢個燈塔咧係好值得去回顧呢段我哋澳門裏邊作為一個航海交通史裏邊或者貿易史裏邊一個咁重要嘅一個地位。
Throughout the history of Macau, people mostly gathered around churches or wells and fountains. While Western missionaries preached their religion, they also brought Macau advanced technology and a new lifestyle. Along with the Gaia Lighthouse on Macau's highest point, there's a Catholic church with a longer history and a legend.
荷兰人进宫的时候，从教堂里边出来了那个圣母玛利亚，那个袖子一甩啊，荷兰人全都跑了，全都死啊，有这么个传说啊。当然，这个也说明了这是澳门土生人的一种信仰啊。后来呢，这个桑德格拉的就在下边又修了一个比较大的教堂，就是现在那个圣罗萨学校那个地方啊，建了个新的大的教堂。那么这个教堂后来基本上就没有不怎么使用了啊，但是这个遗址呢是一直保留着的。
Nowadays, we can see the murals from the old church revealed by restoration. They take us back into the glorious years of the past. Sadly, not only the lighthouse and church, but many other historic buildings have faded away in Macau people's lives.
现在由于科技的高速发展，它作为指引海上航道的这么个作用呢，也逐渐的消失了。人们称澳门是东方的蒙地卡罗嘛，啊，它这个博彩业很发达。那么今天说到这个灯塔，它还在转，但是它这个转啊，已经失去了最初原有的意义啊。这种转，它是在唤醒我们澳门的居民，应该记住，澳门开埠以来这近500年的历史。应该记住，澳门在历史上作为中西文化交流唯一平台的这么一段历史。
Every year in July, the Marine Department of the Macau government opens the lighthouse to visits by citizens and tourists. People can walk into the lighthouse and to touch history, as well as learning about the daily work of lighthouse keepers.
喺個7月嘅星期6日咧，呢個燈塔咧就對外開放，俾市民入嚟參觀。要俾佢哋睇下以前啲燈，包括我哋燈塔裏邊嘅嗰啲古色古香啊，嗰啲文物啊，同埋個樓梯點樣擲啊，亦都係俾佢哋睇到以前我哋喺度做燈塔嘅人員，想當年係點樣即係做啲嘢上落啊，比較都係好辛苦嘅。
So as Macau got rich, it could look at its beautiful old buildings which were still there, and it could afford to look after them. It did, and Macau is now listed by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, rightly, because it's beautiful. And so Macau is looking after its lighthouses. Will it always look after the lighthouse? We have to think of inventive ways for how we keep alive things for which actually we have no more use. It's obsolete, it doesn't work as a lighthouse anymore. Macau is keeping it alive because it's important to Macau heritage. It's part of how Macau thinks of itself